David Goldenberg is with the Tulsa Historical Society and Museum. He joins us for this segment. David, good to have you here, my friend.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
We have something on the drawing board. I understand tickets are already sold out on.
We are completely sold out. In fact, have a waiting list.
Tell us. Well, before we get into that,
yeah,
I'm going to put that on this shelf.
Okay.
You come from where?
Connecticut.
And
Connecticut Yankee.
What'd you do up there?
I was the senior dean of the University of Hartford for 23 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
no one should have to tolerate their dean for more than 10 years.
You speak fluent education.
I do.
I'm impressed. But your wife is from Oklahoma.
Yes, she is. I literally married an Okie from Muskogee.
Did you know?
I did. She's a graduate of Oklahoma State. She's a marriage and family therapist, and she's got me to come out to Oklahoma.
Well, we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about the Tulsa Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I'd be interested to know how you ended up working with the Tulsa Hall.
Well, good friends of mine. I have a coffee group of lawyers and judges and entrepreneurs here in Tulsa that I have coffee with 3 days a week. And when the job opening came available to be the CEO of the museum, my wife immediately told me, but also my friends said, you know, this is a job that'd be perfect for you. And it would get you to Oklahoma full time. I was basically commuting.
So in other words, you listen to your wife.
I always listen to my wife. She's far smarter than I am.
Who are the folks that are going in this year?
Well, starting with John Erling, famous broadcaster of radio.
He's an old friend.
Yeah, and Pat Croft and Sam Combs, Phil and Marcia Mitchell, and Michelle Hardesty.
Names that ring true and folks know them.
Absolutely. I mean, they are pillars of the community in so many ways, and not in just one way. I mean, some involve foundations, some involve corporates, some involve helping people who need it most.
I unfortunately don't know all of them. I know John well.
Yeah.
And have been a big fan of his, not in his radio days, but in the period where he started talking to people, recording the conversations.
Voices of Oklahoma.
And my wife will tell you, I've said this 100 times, I wish I'd thought of that. What a great idea.
It is. And it captures an oral history of the state.
You bet it does.
Is so important. You know, you want to know what those people were thinking, what their passions were, so that you really understand the history
Certainly.
Of the state.
Have you had a chance to go through the tunnels downtown?
No.
Oh, I'll tell you about that.
Okay.
We finish. I'll tell you about the tunnels. You've got to go see the tunnels. Who are the other folks, and how did they contribute to a betterment of life here?
Well, take as an example Pat Croft, who's the president of Muskogee Gaming nationwide, and has put probably $750 million into Oklahoma. $600 million into Tulsa alone. He employs about 2,200 people. But if you look, you see, okay, he's listed as a Tulsa Person of the Year, but what strikes me and holds true is that he's been consistently named one of the best CEOs there is. So that means people really like working for the man, that they're inspired to work for the man.
You know, it makes a difference.
Oh, yes,
Makes
absolutely.
a big difference.
So he's a huge impact, probably $150 million a year in economic impact in Tulsa. So there's just one. And then Michelle Hardesty is, I think of her as a force of nature.
She is.
She's amazing. Everything, she's involved in so many things. So many foundations are so focused on doing just one thing. That's not her.
You can drive through Tulsa and see her name here and here and here.
And the impact that has, the family's impact, the foundation. And but it runs everything from things you don't see names on: animal welfare, women in recovery, working with court reform, a whole range of things that are just so important to wellness. And of course, the thing that she's very passionate about is how do you use yoga in terms of wellness? And that's her real passion these days. And it's really a pleasure to sit down and talk with her about the needs of the city and what she's contributing to do. It's really a remarkable person. We're so fortunate to have her in our community.
What about some of the others?
If we look at Phil and Marcia Mitchell, you know, back in 1972, it was before the Americans with Disabilities Act. Their child was born blind, and there were very few resources in Tulsa. And they started the little lighthouse. And, you know, it started with one teacher, a little wood frame house, just trying to create a resource for a child that needed it. And today, in any given year, serves 250 children.
Easily.
Easily. And everyone attends tuition free. So this is an amazing, and they all did this on a prayer and a belief and a passion to do something to help others. And so it's really a remarkable story. Absolutely love it, you know, in terms of things. And they're such down-to-earth people who care about everyday people in so many ways.
One of the things I've always admired about the Little Lighthouse, they will open their doors to anybody with a question. They will take the time to talk with you. They will open it for tours.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do to learn more about the Little Lighthouse, because that place exploded.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
There were folks around town that had no idea there was, is there, you know, what can we do? The parents need help as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And they offer that
Parents
help.
are caregivers.
Yeah.
You don't realize how important the caregiving aspect of society is right now, and all the demands on families as caregivers.
We got about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Is there another one?
Sam Combs, who first African-American president of Oklahoma Natural Gas.
Yeah.
But he's the one who is the mind and passion behind Greenwood Rising, and really made it come together.
You know what I've always admired about him?
Right.
He has such a soft voice.
Yeah.
But man, can he move mountains.
Yeah, and don't forget, he's an owner of the Dallas Wings, and right now the WNBA is as hot as can be.
David, thank you.
My pleasure.
I
Thank
really
you for
appreciate
inviting
you coming
me.
by, and keep us posted on next year.
Absolutely. We'll be happy to do so.
You're glad to have you back again. You're a good man. I don't care what anybody says. We'll take a short break. We'll come back with more right after this.